let's do it.
Okay, this is it. We're locked in right now, dude. All right, I'll move the keys.
How you doing?
I was going to say, how you been?
I'm not bad.
I
Not
haven't
bad.
seen you in a minute.
I know. Yeah. Probably since the last time I did the podcast.
3 months ago.
3 months ago. Okay.
Yep.
How'd the numbers on that do?
Pretty good.
Okay.
The
Come on.
gays like you.
Hey, I like them right
Shout
back.
out, right.
All right,
Hey,
perfect. Yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
I say as I get the foot out. It was perfect choreography.
It's all marketing at the end of the day.
Awesome. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. All right. I didn't. Yeah, because we're doing this Sunday. I was in Denver all week.
Oh, okay. How was that?
Have you been?
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think?
So I was staying in an area that was very nice. It was like near a park, and
Okay.
I liked that. But that was the only neighborhood I cared for.
If I said the name, would you know?
Probably not.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Cherry Creek.
Possibly.
Okay.
I have a relative, like a second cousin or something like that, who moved out there, and I stayed with them. I was doing some shows, and I stayed with them.
Okay.
And that particular setup was awesome. But when I explored the city a little bit, I was like, "There's not
Like
much."
Denver proper.
Yeah, there's not much.
There's not much going on. Yeah. It's like a city of no people. No one's around.
Spread out, it seems.
Very spread out.
Which, as a New Yorker, has never been my thing.
It's unsettling.
It's a little eerie.
It's eerie.
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
little eerie. You're a mile high. I don't know what that's all about. Just
right.
Sort of. I don't know. I didn't love the city. I didn't love the shows, honestly, either.
Where'd you do?
I did a weed shop. Was one of the shows, which is just. I mean, a high audience is just the worst. I mean, it's just. They're not clocking anything. If they are clocking a joke, they're laughing at a punchline that happened 30 seconds ago.
Well, especially you smarter comedy. Like,
Well,
what the hell's going on
I
here?
appreciate it. I like that spin. I like the guy's bombing, and it's like, well, this guy must be a genius.
Yeah.
That's
It's a fucking
what's going on.
philosopher up here.
Yeah, right. No, I did not enjoy that show whatsoever. So I think I must have done one other show. Oh, yeah, I did another show that was like a brewery type thing, and that was actually pretty good.
Was that like Cardboard Box or something, or
Maybe.
something like that?
It was kind of a bright room. Like, it didn't look like it would be good for comedy, but the show ended up being pretty solid.
Okay.
But I agree with you about the city. I have no allegiance.
It just felt very sterile, and like there's no culture.
Yes.
I walked by this place. I thought it was a restaurant because there was all boots outside. I was like, "Damn, this guy would be like some sort of country bar or something." No, just a boot store.
Okay.
Just selling boots. Really threw me off.
Yeah.
Where I was like, the thing that stands out the most is like American. It was like, oh, cowboy boots. Maybe I'm in the wrong there.
You're saying that's not that area, the Rockies that's not cowboy.
I would say it is. Originally cowboy.
It's the West.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
West.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. It was just the first thing that popped in my mind when I said it was sterile. The thing that popped out the most was just a boot store.
But I mean, New York's definitely got the just lampshades type store. I mean, we specialize too, just not. Are you saying that it was weird because it was so specific?
I think it was just like it was a solid core next to a Starbucks, next to a dry bar. There was like nothing really there, and then the thing that really popped was a boot store. I'm like, that's the most exciting thing.
Yeah, that's your thing. That's the thing that gives you character. Yeah,
right.
That I understand. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a city largely. I'm sorry if you got like a Denver fans, but
I don't think I do.
It feels like a city that it should be, because of its location and because it's a convenient kind of not midpoint. I mean, it's closer to the west, but it's like kind of nice. There's a reason why Denver Airport has so many, you layovers.
Way too big.
Huge.
Way too
with
big.
What's the statue at the front? Is it a Bronco?
The horse? Yeah, with the red eyes.
Yeah. A little creepy.
Yeah, well, no purpose of that.
Aren't there a lot of conspiracy theories about that airport?
Man, as a matter of fact, there are.
And
I don't know about a lot, but there are.
I mean, just one is enough
Right.
for an airport. Yeah, to have, if an airport has a conspiracy theory behind it.
Yeah, LaGuardia has no conspiracy theory.
I don't think so. No, we can invent some.
Sure.
Something with that fountain, that hologram.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
No, it's great.
I feel very nice when I walk into LaGuardia.
I don't know if it says something about me, but I go in and I'm like, this is class.
I
This
know.
is- yeah.
After I just wait 20 minutes in the TSA line.
Yeah, right.
You have TSA PreCheck?
I do.
Should I do that?
Yes, it's worth it.
It's worth
Sometimes it's not worth it because the line is just as long. Because I guess a lot of
Right.
people have gotten it.
Yep.
Clear is the weirdest one.
That's unsettling to me.
That is the most. I don't know if so obviously it's the most classist, but like in your face Someone is just literally cutting you in line.
You think it's classist?
Yeah, like I mean, obviously but it is a richer person being someone escorting a richer person to the front of the line and then saying to the TSA agent, like, hey, no, they got clear. I mean, I assume it's a richer person. Maybe it's just a more frequent traveler.
Maybe is that all? Because to me, clear was like how to get into like Shea Stadium quicker or Citi Field.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't just there. I forgot that.
That's when it first came up.
Yes.
To me, it's like a trashier.
It's just such a blatant cut. As opposed to the other, like TSA PreCheck is like you got a separate line, and you never really see they moving faster.
I do feel like they devoid us. Like it's
there's a little concentration camp.
It's very concentration camp.
Not to, yeah.
I was waiting for you to say it.
Yeah,
I was waiting for the okay.
There's only one apt metaphor here.
They hand me a bunch of striped pajamas. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. They give me a number.
We knew it. Now the shoes. They take the shoes off.
They take the shoes off. Yeah, that's right. Denver, you get on a train after to ship to your.
That's right. It's a perfect parallel.
It's a perfect parallel.
It's unreal. I'm spooked. You get a little pathetic meal.
Yeah.
Wow.
They give you some cookies and they think that's enough.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think they were.
They have it stacked up on top of each other. You don't think they had cookies and?
I don't think so.
You don't think that's how they gave out the snacks?
Yeah, I don't think there were Tates.
Yeah. They're like stroopwafel or pretzels.
Yeah, they gave you the option too. You're getting chocolate chip whether you like it or not. Yeah. Wow, that took a dark turn. But what are the conspiracy theories?
It's something to do with like they store UFOs there, something like that. Mm-hmm. They use that as a big like it's not just Area 51; it's there as well.
Okay.
I think that's it. Call us in if I'm gay, but
I'm not. I believe there's like 2 or 3 different ones.
Huh.
Something about are there like a lot of underground like tunnels type thing or something?
Are we combining the Holocaust with the Underground Railroad?
Did we just circle the square? Have we finally?
Have we cracked the code on the Denver airport? Because you bring it up. I don't see black people there ever.
Just some sort of combination of every atrocity. The Armenian genocide somehow in there. Yeah. How do we mix that?
But people don't acknowledge it in the airport.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So going back to, I do have TSA PreCheck. I would recommend it. It's not expensive. It's like,
well, here's my problem with the TSA.
$80 maybe.
I think it's about that. Yeah. I went to go do it. This is probably a month ago, 2 months ago. First off, you get done at Staples.
Yes, that's where I went. The West Side Staples. Yeah.
You went to the West Side Staples.
Yeah.
I went to the one on 86th because that's the closest one to this physical apartment.
Yeah.
I went there. I was like, I'm here for the TSA PreCheck, and she's like, oh, the machine's down.
Huh. Okay.
I was like, that's how we're handling international security?
Yes.
The computer at Staples is down, so now I can't get approved?
Yes, going through the PreCheck system does make you a bit surprised that there hasn't been a major terrorist attack since 9/11.
It's unbelievable.
Also, just the thing of like, I think PreCheck expires. I think it lasts about 5 years.
Something like that.
That's way too long. I could get radicalized. Well, one TikTok. I'm done. Yeah, I'm a different guy. What? 5 years? I don't know what I believed 5 years ago.
Oh, you're a completely different person potentially.
Yeah. So I don't. It feels like a lot to me.
But it also shows if I just pay $80 for the next 5 years, everything I'm doing right now is bullshit.
Yeah.
So why am I doing it in the first place?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I think it's worth it.
I got to do it.
It's annoying taking off the shoes. It's annoying getting off the laptop. And then usually the line is significantly shorter.
Here's the thing also. Different airports have different rules. Mm-hmm. Austin Airport, you don't have to take your laptop out.
Oh, just even if you're one of the plebes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Maybe it's by like not a superiority of airport. Like there's tiers of airports. LaGuardia is a tier A.
And
Austin, I would say, is a tier B, potentially tier C airport.
Well, LaGuardia is interesting because it's the second. I know it's New York City, but it's number 2 in New York City. Are you saying in terms of like
complexity? Not complexity.
In terms of amount of flights, it can't be as big as JFK.
No way.
It's not international.
Well, JFK,
maybe there's a couple.
You have to take the laptop out. LaGuardia, you got to take laptop. Newark, laptop.
Yeah.
Denver, laptop. Austin, no laptop. Chattanooga, no laptop.
Well. Come on.
We're just happy you're here.
Yeah.
If you're hijacking out of Chattanooga. You only have 4 options.
That's impressive. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. It's just 3 cities nearby. Yeah.
Right. It's a bunch of connection flights at the end of the day.
I once flew out of Jacksonville. That was lovely. It was just no lines,
No people.
no people. I mean, I guess there's a lot of people there, but there was no one in the airport. And yeah, I don't think there are those times where TSA PreCheck is totally not needed, and then you kind of feel like, why did I do this? But it's just $80. It's not bad.
It's not bad for 5 years.
5 years.
I know I got to do it. That's it. That's all I did.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Just clear and PreCheck. Yeah. So
But Denver.
were you doing shows?
I went out for work. I was gonna do
Okay.
shows, but then I had a bunch of work stuff at night, so I didn't end up doing
At
it.
night.
Yeah, so didn't end up doing the shows, but it's just I'm kind of glad because those people are very sterile people.
The audiences.
The
Or
people.
What would be the audiences?
Everyone there sounds like a news anchor.
Oh, okay.
Everyone has a they all sound the same. They all kind of look the same. They all dress the same.
News anchor would mean kind of like announcery, no
Right,
real
everyone-
emotion in their voice.
Right. I thought South Park was kind of like, why do all these characters kind of sound alike?
Okay.
Well, now I understand when you grow up in Colorado. That's just what people sound
That's
like.
what people sound like. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I really wasn't there for very long. It was part of some other trip. Oh, no, you know what it was? I went with my wife. That was kind of like a nice trip that we took from Santa Fe
Santa
to
Fe?
We flew into Albuquerque.
Okay.
And then kind of worked our way driving up to Denver, basically. We spent a day in Breckenridge, which I guess is like a little bit of a
I think it's an hour and a half from Denver.
something like that.
Yeah.
And Breckenridge was cool. I don't ski, but it was like it was during the summer, so it was just kind of like a nice town.
Okay.
I thought I was dying from altitude sickness, though. Which I don't think is possible. Maybe it's possible.
Maybe.
No idea.
I don't
But
know.
It was very unpleasant. The city is great, but I woke up in the middle of the night just like heaving.
How high is that? Denver's a mile. That's one thing I also didn't understand.
Breckenridge
I
is
didn't-
higher than Denver.
Right, I understand it's up in the mountains, but everyone in Denver is like, oh, we're in the plains. The mountains is really where it's bad. I'm like,
So
no,
if-
we're a mile up.
Right.
in
So
the
that's
plains.
like, what, 6,000 something feet?
Sure.
Breckenridge, I think, was like pushing 10,000.
It's too much.
It's a lot.
Why are we doing this?
I don't
Everyone get back to basics.
be on the water.
Get by the water.
New Orleans a little too much. That's a little
Well,
Venice,
there's-
you know, like
right.
relax. Yeah.
You know, there's
But-
a time and place. There's a good middle ground.
Yes. Where are we at? New York. Yeah.
New York's good.
Yeah, we see the water. That's great.
That's enough.
yeah. Would you say JFK, going back before, JFK main airport of America, or is it O'Hare? What's like number one?
Ooh.
It's between those two, right?
Or Logan.
Logan.
No, you're right. Logan's a third.
I feel like O'Hare is kind of
I've
it
never
more
been.
iconic than JFK, maybe?
Or Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Atlanta's
'cause
the
Delta.
physically
Yeah,
biggest
yeah.
airport.
Oh, it is? I think Dallas
Or
is
it has
pretty
the
huge, too.
most.
I think Dallas is very big.
Call us in.
I'm not
I think
sure.
you're right. Dallas is physically the biggest. Atlanta has the most flights.
Oh, interesting. That's because of Delta, right?
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Are you a part of a? I want to explore all the travel. It's a trash that I think going to the airport's like classy.
Just
Like physically going to take a flight, I think is a pretty classy thing. Is that garbage?
I never thought of it that way. I wouldn't say it's garbage. It's a little childish.
Okay. Like when I go to the airport, I'm like, oh, okay.
I don't think no. I'm just. I think I only say childish because I feel like it's one of these things where it's like I mean childish in a good way, where it's like, no, we're gonna fly. Like that's amazing. Like that
That's
Louis bit.
legitimately in my head what I think of on the way to the airport.
That's.
I'm like,
But I
Oh.
appreciate. I mean childish in a way of like seeing the world, like sort of appreciating. It's how we all should, like the Louis bit. Like that's how we should look
Right.
at it. That it's this incredible technology that 100 years ago, was invented by the Wright brothers, doing 10-second flights, and
Right.
now all of a sudden it's insanely safe. I mean, there were a couple accidents recently, but like for the most part, statistically, it's insane that if you're on a commercial airline, no matter what, pretty much you're going to be safe.
right.
And you're in the air. I mean, it's a crazy defiance of. I was going to say gravity, but
Right.
yeah. But of like, it's like we shouldn't be flying. I mean, we're human beings. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
It makes zero sense.
So in that sense, yeah, no, I don't think it's trashy. I think it's more just like appreciating things in a very like more as it should be,
But like I like it, the airport. Like when people are like, I don't want to go there until I walk on during boarding. I enjoy going to the airport.
Wait, so tell me. Okay,
I enjoy like sitting at the terminal.
So you like being on the train or on in a cab, literally going there?
I enjoy that.
Okay.
The TSA I don't fully enjoy, but once you're through that, overall it's pretty nice.
You mean just sitting there?
Sure.
I feel. You know what I feel like? I feel very much like a grown up. Especially, I mean, if I'm by myself, if I'm with my parents.
That's
then
what
I
I'm
don't feel like a grown-up.
saying.
But I do feel like I got my bag, and yeah, I got a thing to do. I'm responsible. I'm gonna get there in time. I get that.
How early do you leave before the flight?
I'm probably err on the side of caution, but I'm not like crazy. My mom is crazy. My parents are actually on the way right now to the Philippines.
What the hell's going on over there?
I don't
They opened
know.
the Jollibee a few blocks ago. Like, you don't have to go. What the hell are you doing on the Philippines?
On the way to the airport, my dad sees it. He's like, "Oh,
Well, the
I
trip's
didn't
not
realize
refundable.
that. That's new." Yeah. They are. My mom has some sort of conference, a doctory conference, and she got my dad to go. I mean, I hope my mom doesn't listen to this. The degree to which my dad does not want to go is
I don't blame him. How long is that flight? It's got to be like an 18-hour
I
flight.
think it's like almost. I think it's like 16 or 17. Yeah,
That's
far.
You're telling me she can't speak at a conference between here and there?
You want to hear something even more annoying?
I'd love to.
Their first flying from New York to Los Angeles.
Okay.
That barely shortens the flight.
Right.
Just, I don't know, whatever the curvature is of the Earth. That's like, it's like still 16 or 15 hours from LA. So you're doing that 5 to 6 hour flight and
For
you
nothing.
barely gained any ground.
But why?
Because I guess there's just more direct flights. I think there is a New York to Manila thing, but it's like they had to leave today or something, and the flight's a little more rare. For whatever reason, logistically, they had to do it.
There's enough Filipinos in New York. Right. So what are we? Is this a physical therapy conference?
Or nursing. Yeah.
Yeah, or nursing. Yeah. Is Joe Coy hosting?
Yeah. Oh, man, he's not a good,
Oh,
not a
yeah,
good host.
hosting.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Good stand-up, not a good host.
We learned that.
But no Nikki Glazer. No, she was good.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah, she was great.
Doing it again.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Conan?
I thought it fantastic.
He's
I'm a
so-
big Conan guy.
I'm a huge Conan guy.
Yeah.
That Hot Ones episode.
Unbelievable. He got
Unreal.
like burns on his face.
Unreal. And layered. Because it's like kind of meta too. He's like, he's not mocking the show, but he is in a little bit, like kind of breaking it down while being hilarious. And then at the same time, for the more serious questions, giving like very poignant answers and being just a thoughtful, smart guy. Yeah, that was incredible. But anyway, yeah, so they're going to the Philippines. But how did I...
When did they leave?
Oh, right. So my mom leaves very, very early.
What's that mean?
For an international flight? Like, she'll say that. She'll be like, well, it's an international flight. You got to be there. I think, like, 2 hours is probably the recommendation.
Right.
But I think she's going to get there. I bet they got there at least 3 hours early.
See, that's what I would do. I would leave my apartment 3 hours before the flight.
I think they went even crazier. Although if you're doing that for domestic, that's pretty. But you like the
2
airport.
hours.
But you like the airport, so it's. Not
I also like to know I'm there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
And the feeling of thinking that you might miss a flight is an awful feeling. The closest I ever came to missing. Oh, actually, I did miss one flight, which Rachel will never forgive me for. Basically, I was in the bathroom. I don't even think I was taking a dump. I think I was just peeing, but I was just like on my phone and just not paying attention.
Right, you got lost in a clip.
Yeah. It was a minute and a half
hell of a
instead
clip.
of 45 seconds. And I was, oh my God, this is great. Yeah, no, I'm just just watching an entire Rogan episode for 2.5 hours. But I didn't realize that the doors like literally shut 15 minutes before takeoff. And we missed a flight from San Francisco to LA, like a nothing 1 hour flight. And yeah, she was rightfully very like pissed off.
I didn't know they shut 15 minutes before takeoff.
They shut it. They shut the door. And it's one of those things where you see the plane. It's there. The door is still there. And they're like, sorry, policy. And of course, it's not their fault. They are just following policy. But there's no one else to yell at. So it's a that tough situation.
So what? Were
didn't
you
yell,
there
but-
as they were closing the door, or was it closed when you got there?
I think it had just closed, like minutes. Yeah.
All right.
But then one time I was
Do you
actually
have to
with,
repay for the flight? You have to buy a whole new flight.
they might have been nice about that because there were a bunch of flights and empty seats. We probably had to pay a little bit, which sucks. But I
I've
don't
always
think we had to
thought
pay
about
much.
that.
Yeah. But once Bramante and I were in Nashville, I think it was when we did some of those Chattanooga shows, and then we
Shout
went
out
to
to
Nashville, Greenspan, and then we flew from Nashville back to New York, and I was extremely late. Mike had TSA PreCheck. I didn't at the time. He zooms ahead, and that was the first time in my life that at the security I was running up to people being like, I'm sorry, I got a flight. I'm sorry. Like my flight's like right now. My flight's right now. And I've never done that before in my life, but I basically cut the whole line with, and what's someone going to say to me? Like, no, you can't go in front of
I mean,
like,
yes, I think that's what people would say.
I think it was the South too. They're so friendly.
Right. Well, to certain people.
Polite.
Yeah.
Well, right. Sorry, I didn't catch that right away. Yeah. Yeah, well, it paid off. So
Right.
yeah, I was lucky that. Yeah. But yeah, that was.
So he went ahead into the TSA pre and didn't stick with you.
Yeah, but I don't blame him.
I don't know. Would he have gone onto the flight without you?
He did. I mean, it looked like I wasn't going to make it.
Okay.
I think I would have done the same. I think.
To Bramante, yeah.
No. Yeah.
All right. No, I like to get there 2 hours. I'll leave here 2 hours early.
Yeah.
Get there, walk through, sit down. I'll open my laptop.
Do you like LaGuardia in
Fake.
particular, or is it anything?
From here, yes.
Yeah.
Because I just live 20 minutes
Oh, it's
away.
nothing. It's nothing.
Right, very
You
easy
always take
there.
an Uber there?
Always take an Uber.
Oh, really? Okay, I do the subway shuttle thing sometimes. It takes a lot longer.
It takes a lot longer.
But it's, if you have time to kill, whatever.
Right. Whatever.
That also, I would actually say that makes me also feel kind of like a grown up.
The
where it's like
subway.
I'm doing, for some reason, where it's like I'm doing the subway to the. I'm figuring shit out. Like an adult.
Okay, you're putting pieces together.
I'm putting pieces together. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure.
No list. But I did the shuttle once. Here's the reason I don't do the shuttle much.
Yeah.
The one time I did the shuttle, I was in a group chat for a bachelor party.
Okay.
And one guy said, thank God I'm not on the shuttle like some of those pores as I was on the shuttle. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, guess I'm not doing this ever again. Also, there's
no.
a screaming psychopath right outside. That's crazy.
Outside the
Outside
airport?
the air tram.
Oh.
Like she had to get through a barrier. Or she like set up camp.
No. You mean that Jamaica? No. There's a lot of crazy people there. Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's a hub for sure.
So I've learned that. But yeah, so big reason I don't do it is because the one time I did it, one person said poor people do it, so no, I don't do it.
Oh, are you like sensitive about that?
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
as
yeah.
Oh,
That's like
okay.
kind of my whole ethos.
That if someone says something is like, what about poor or trash or both in terms of like a word?
I've accepted trash.
Trash. You're okay with.
Because trash there's many scales of trash.
Oh,
Rich
yeah.
people can be trash.
They're
Most
the
times they
trashiest.
are.
Yeah. They make millions of reality shows about it.
Right. Thank you for them. Salute. But yeah, the poor thing. Yeah, that's I never want to be called poor, cheap, because I was for basically the first 20 years of my life.
Oh, but poor and cheap are different.
Yeah.
Again,
technically.
rich people can be cheap.
Well, rich people usually are
Yeah.
cheap. But that's like having something that's cheap. That's what I mean. Not like being cheap.
I see what you're
Myself.
saying. Yes.
So that's why I'd rather pay for the 45. I'm also a big pay for convenience guy.
Okay.
I don't have much overhead
Sure, me too.
in my
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, $50 to the airport. Whatever.
I hear that. Yeah. Sometimes with JFK, I do like going there direct just because it can be so trafficy, which
You're
is
saying
frustrating.
direct on the train.
Yeah.
It is 45 minutes from here
And
without traffic.
and without shocking you, I like a train. I don't mind a train.
It's in your instincts.
This might throw you for a second, but I like the schedules. I do like trains.
Oh, I thought this was another Holocaust call.
Oh, no, not a Holocaust thing. No, we didn't like it. No.
I just thought you felt, you're like, I'm used to this.
No.
It's more of a comfort thing at this point.
Yeah, no, it's no. I meant autism.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like to read a schedule.
Yes.
Yes.
But I also like the lack of. I mean, obviously there can be delays, but I like the lack of traffic and all that stuff. Just zooming through Queens.
Yeah, I also never know if you take a tram where to get off. Like it's always like, oh, there's a zone A, zone B, zone Z.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, where the hell do I go, dude?
Yeah. You can get screwed there. Sometimes you're in a Uber or a cab though, where they mess that up too, and you're just doing loops.
It's happened.
You really feel like an idiot.
This is what I don't understand about New York City airports. You think Uber drivers spend about 20% of their time there?
Sure.
They never know where to
They
go.
can't figure it out.
They
Yep.
can't figure it out.
Which I don't even blame them, because it's so generic, and everything is just.
If you're new to the game, I understand. These people have been Ubering for years.
You're right. And how much can the airport really change over time? I'm sure they restructured
JFK,
a bit.
that one I get. It's new. But everything else.
Oh, even that aspect of it is new?
I think.
Interesting. Okay.
Pickup's definitely new because you got to take a shuttle. It's a whole.
Oh, sure.
It's a whole
Yeah,
bag of hammers from there.
Good call. And LaGuardia was made so much nicer in the past 5 years.
One thing I don't like about these new airports, too many sit-down restaurants.
I rarely do that. I guess you get there early, so you could.
I could. And usually I'm flying on company dime, so I'll expense.
Do you lounge?
So this is where I was going to go with all this. I don't lounge. I don't know how to do I'm genetically, working class. I don't understand lounges. I have a Chase Sapphire, but I don't know how to access a Sapphire lounge.
You're saying you don't know how to get in, or you don't know what to do
when
you're there?
Well, conceptually, I understand what to do when you're there. It's drinking, it's eating, it's lounging.
Yes.
I get the principles, but I wouldn't even know what to do.
How to get in.
I don't know how to get in. I don't know if I'm I flew United to Denver. Do I get access to United Lounge? I don't think I do.
It depends on your credit card or.
I don't have a United card. Do you need a card? See, these are the questions I have.
So I don't know the specific rules. I know that my wife has some sort of American Express card that gets her into certain lounges.
That I know. If you have the platinum, you get some lounges.
But does she even have the platinum?
See?
Maybe it's a different card. I don't know the rules.
Neither do I. You know more than me.
I have a Chase Sapphire one.
That's what I have.
Can that get you into something?
Well, I didn't think so, and then I'm walking through LaGuardia. They have a Chase Sapphire Lounge, but I have the preferred,
So that's not
which
enough.
is not the one you pay the
That's
most.
not the high one.
This is it's the middle tier.
The middle one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have a Delta Rewards thing, but I have gold.
Should I be doing that?
But that's gold is nothing. It's like a flimsy. You could break it in 2 seconds. It's not. It's the other. I don't know what.
Well, I assume you could break it. I don't think the card's gold.
Well, some of those metal ones,
Well,
I don't.
they're a
think
little
think
heavy.
You could,
I know.
You could knife through that. There's no way.
Right.
Yeah, mine is. Yeah, it's nothing. It's plastic.
Okay. Is that what it's about? The strength of the card get you into lounges?
Well, isn't there a correlation between how heavy a card is and how prestigious it is? I feel like there is.
I don't know.
You're not gonna if you got a flimsy card. I mean, physically flimsy card. Chances are that's not getting you much.
You'd think.
If you've got a card that's feels like a brick.
But I think that's back in the, that's 10 years ago. If you had a metal card 10 years ago,
Yeah.
you're an executive,
Oh, yeah. No, seeing
now,
that-
food stamps are on metal cards.
Yeah. No, but when someone places that card down and the table
You hear the
makes
ping.
a little bit of a thud. Yeah.
I know. But I don't think that still applies anymore, Ben.
Okay. All right.
But again, I'm not,
well,
not
I
a
am
credit
sure
card
that whatever
guy.
Delta card I have is shit. That I do know.
Okay.
But maybe it has nothing to do with how thin it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't even know you needed a card to be a member. I thought that was like an additional thing.
I thought it had some benefits. I don't know.
Call us
have your
in.
fans. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But you do.
I'm awful. I don't know about you. I'm awful at money stuff. I don't mean in terms of how to be save and be economical.
Oh, right, of
but
course.
I mean in terms of understanding, for example, the stock market and that stuff. And maybe it's because the whole thing is a fugazi or whatever. That, like, maybe it's purposely, confusing and kind of nothing. But I'm very bad at conceptualizing how it works.
I like how you correlate the stock market with airport lounges, because it shouldn't make any sense, but to me that makes so much sense.
For some reason, it connected to me. Maybe that's just a reflection of how little I understand.
I
thought I was going from A to B. Yeah, I thought.
Right.
I thought I was making a direct connection.
The same people utilize the stock market and airport lounges.
Yes. But I think you're right. I mean, that was a loose connection. But I think that the kind of confusion I'm feeling right now about the cards is reminiscent of the kind of confusion I feel when it comes to like stocks and when people talk to me about
There's
stocks.
a knowledge gap.
Yes.
But there's gatekeepers to the knowledge gap. It's the same gatekeepers for airport lounges
And maybe
the
they're
stock
just
market.
making shit up.
I don't think they are, dude.
Oh, okay.
I just think we don't know how to start.
Yeah.
We have no entry point. We don't know where to get in.
And I think
to
part
this.
of that is with the stock stuff, which I know is not the same thing. Education, you're learning a lot of more random stuff that's not quite as practical in middle school and high school. Like, no one really explained to me, how to banks and how checking accounts versus a savings account and like all this stuff that you need to know.
Because they don't know.
Maybe they don't know.
Because you're being taught by teachers who
Yes.
also are dumb.
But I mean, I know that I taught like at an after-school program where one of the field trips was they just took the kids to the bank, and that was a field trip. And who knows, the kids weren't listening or whatever. But like at least they were there, and they were just like, "Here's how you do this. Here's how you do this."
Okay, maybe we need to find something in between. Just going to the bank in general is not enough.
Well, they brought in some.
I went to the bank. I could take money out, put it in.
No, but they're explaining, that this is what the routing number is. This is what I know you pick these things up anyway, but I feel like as a kid, learning that instead of a field trip to fucking, I don't know, the Holocaust Museum. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh boy.
No, as opposed to, the Statue of Liberty is.
No, that's a quintessential field trip.
We got to go once, of
You
course.
gotta
You got to go
once.
once, but also to the bank. Mix it up. Go to the bank, get a little money, and then you could buy whatever you get at the Statue of Liberty, a keychain.
Okay, I don't hate this idea.
Yeah.
This is why you need to run the Department of Education.
Yes. They're going to break it down, and then I'm going to, like the Phoenix,
Right.
bring it back up.
We're building everything off field trips.
Yes.
Field trip efficiency.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm going to make a good PowerPoint for it, and try to get kids to learn more practical things.
Well, we got Vince McMahon's wife as the head of it now, so
That's right. That's her.
you might as well
Yeah.
take the reins.
Yeah. Did you watch that documentary about her husband?
No, I always meant to, and
It's good.
I just watched The Pit instead on HBO.
Pit. Remind me what that is.
Nah, it's a relatively new show. It's like every episode's an hour in the emergency room.
Oh, okay.
There's like a bunch of doctors. I'm like,
But not like ER. I mean,
not a reality. It's not reality. It's scripted.
Oh, it is scripted. So it is like ER.
Yeah, like a more realistic
Yeah.
ER.
Okay. That's cool.
It's like all what's it called? Like The Office.
Do you watch? What do you mean? Like The Office? Like
How they shoot it.
like with the testimonials? No.
No, not with testimonials, but like
that would
live
be,
action.
That would be so funny
Also-
if they're doing this like intense ER thing and then it just cuts to an interview and it's just like, man, that was a lot of blood, but Tina's a bitch. Yeah, or whatever.
So
yeah.
I put a scalpel in Jello.
yeah.
Also, one of the girls was on Hinge, and I tried to match with her.
Get out.
No
Really?
success.
Okay. Surprising Hinge, not Raya, right? Or maybe she's
I don't
both.
know. These like low-level public figures pop up on Hinge. Good amount of bachelorette or bachelor contestants pop up on Hinge.
Is that new though? Because I feel like Raya was not just celebrities, but I feel like Raya, you can get on even if you're.
Dude, Raya's out.
It's out.
I've
Okay.
never been in. That's
Yeah,
why it's
yeah.
out.
Right.
Dude, the bartender at where we do Stone Street,
Yeah.
he's on Raya. I'm not on Raya.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on here?
Oh man, that's
Kyle Mara's on Raya.
All right. I mean, his special was great, but I mean, To get on Raya, come on.
It's not.
I mean, that's
I'll be honest with you. It's not Raya great.
no. I mean, Raya. It's got to be.
But he was in before the
Cat
special.
Williams deserves to be on Raya.
Right. That's a crazy example of that.
I thought it would be a good pull.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
That's the first name that comes to mind.
Yeah, of course, well, yeah. Constantly, I'm thinking of Cat Williams. So Raya's, yeah, dude. Raya's out until I'm in. Then Raya's in.
Oh, of course. Then Raya's the best.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely was never on Raya. Hinge was the one. I mean, I didn't meet
Hinge is
Rachel
hot.
on
Hinge is hot on the streets.
Yeah, it feels like it's the right level of. I mean, I guess it's more relationshipy.
So a relationshipy, right?
I mean, I'm sure you could do one night stands on Hinge too, but it's not
Every now and then.
But it's not as. Is that still the reputation that Tinder is more the one night stand?
Well, I think Tinder's just bots and prostitutes now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bots and prostitutes. Okay, that's interesting.
I haven't used it since Nixon was in office, so I don't know what the hell's going on there, dude.
Back when it was just prostitutes.
Right.
And then
None
bots.
of these bots.
Yeah.
And now that Elon's a part of the, with Doge and everything.
Yeah.
I don't trust any of these AI bots on Tinder. But no, yeah. So what are we talking about? Raya, airport lounges, Holocaust.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Everything we usually cover.
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, I think that there is some overlap between our previous episodes.
Yeah, kind of hitting on all the same marks. No, it's that's why in my brain, like the airport is a classier place because it has. I also grew up never going to the airport.
Well, I understand what you're saying. When it comes to the poor aspect of it, is just that flying is expensive. So is that trashy to be like, oh my God, we're, as if we're going to Disneyland or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Okay.
You didn't travel much as a kid, though.
No.
What about, like not even, like, domestic?
No, we went to Florida twice.
Florida.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Don't want to brag to my grandparents in a trailer park.
Okay.
Lake Worth, Florida. Shout out Lake Worth.
Is that northern Florida?
It's right by Boca.
Oh, south.
Boca,
okay,
Del
yeah.
Rey, Lake Worth's where the trailer parks are.
I'm thinking of something. There's some random city in central northern Florida. Blanking on the name.
Tallahassee.
Anyway. No, more east. Damn.
You
I
said
did
Jacksonville?
A random between Jacksonville and Tallahassee, but like
Odessa.
parallel. No,
Plantation.
I feel like there's a lake in there. I can't remember, but I did a show there. That's why
Land
I know it.
Lakes, which is a real town.
Really?
Yeah.
It was just butter.
I know.
Huh.
You'd think.
Yeah.
Well, you did think, and you're right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Florida 2 times.
Florida, too. That's it.
That's actually not visiting your grandparents very often. Did they come to you a lot?
They would come once a year.
Oh, okay. So
To New York.
Yeah.
Yes. For like 2 weeks. It was a lot.
I will say that I traveled a bit. So my parents are doctors, and they would have like conferences.
Well, yeah, you're going to fucking Manila, dude.
Well, now they're going to Manila, which is, I would never as a kid. But I got to go to some cool places as a kid, which is awesome. But at the same time, I don't remember it. Like, I went to Prague when I was like 8.
Probably
something like that.
hammered.
Yeah, no, I was
Beer's
just
so
so
cheap.
drunk.
Yeah.
I was so drunk off Pilsner or Quell.
Yeah.
But it is a weird thing when you see these kids on planes and stuff, and they're going, they're not going to remember these
I
trips.
constantly think of that when I see toddlers on planes.
Yeah.
When I was going to Ireland, there's a bunch of babies.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah. I went to Dublin. That was one of the cool places.
Shout
But
out
I don't remember. I remember it was very nice. I remember the colored doors.
Okay.
That was
Pretty good.
That's a thing, right?
I don't know, but
No,
okay.
the doors very like brightly colored. I feel like that's kind of a thing. Whatever.
I don't know.
Maybe I don't remember anything.
Okay.
But
Lisbon? That seems more of a Lisbon thing.
never been to Lisbon.
Okay.
Spain, I've been to.
Never been to Spain. Would like to. Barcelona's a hot spot for comedy.
Yeah,
now.
now it's like a stand-up thing. Is it
Yeah.
that one club or is it like a whole thing?
I know this is where. Did Michelle Wolf move there? Something like
sounds
that.
right. Yeah.
And then she does some club there. It's expats, and then she does it every night, I think.
Yeah. I told you that I did stand-up in Japan, right? Similar style of.
I didn't know you did stand up. I know you went to Japan.
I went to Japan for my honeymoon, and then we were in Tokyo, and I saw just on Google Maps that there was some club, and I was like, oh, I just.
I think Ryo Hayashi runs it.
I get upstairs, and I hear a guy goes, Ben, and Rio
There you go.
run into him, a comic that we know, other side of the globe. It was really
Not for him.
But yeah, it's his side of the globe. I went to his side of the globe, and it was a weird, it was a weird thing to just like bump into someone after a 14-hour flight to a place that you assumed you didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
And it was cool, but it was the same deal. It was like mainly for expats. I think they do some Japanese language comedy as well, but I think most of it is in English.
I'm down for that. There's apparently a residency in like Osaka
Oh, that's cool.
where you do it for 2 weeks. They'll pay for your room.
I mean, if you could do it, Japan.
If you have 2 weeks.
Japan was awesome.
I know.
That was.
I'd like to go.
Yeah, it was really cool. Going back to trains, because all roads.
Great trains.
Great trains, and kind of one of those cool things where you can go for, say, a week, 2 weeks, and see a good amount, not the whole country, but see a good amount of the country because of the trains, and also the experience of being on the train is like it's like kind of cool in itself. Because
Yes.
one of those going however fast it's going, but the cup of coffee won't spill if you like fill it to the brim. I mean, it's so cool. They're so well done.
Do you think there's any correlation between train efficiency and the amount of autism in a nation? Because the most autistic...
because that would be saying that America has no autism, and I think we have plenty of autism.
We have some autism,
but our trains kind of suck compared to like Japan.
I'm saying like autism per capita. I think like per capita, per square mile.
Well, let's think about it. Which has the best train? Japan has great trains.
Japan has substantially better trains.
Europe has good trains.
Europe has good trains.
Do they have a higher autism per capita?
I don't know. They're weird.
They're definitely weird.
Where I don't think Japan's necessarily weird, but I do think they're autistic.
I think some of them just don't speak English. I think you're just seeing someone who doesn't speak the same language.
No, dude, masturbating to animated tentacles.
Is that autistic, or is that?
I mean, I don't know what you want to call it.
I don't know what. I mean, there is a word for it. I don't know if it's autistic.
I mean, what? That's one of the words.
Okay. Maybe
they like to eat by themselves.
I like to eat by myself.
Yeah, but like they have all restaurants designed for it, dude. They have restaurant that like so much of it's designed to not have human interaction. Right? You order something on a screen and then it just pops up out of the wall.
Yeah. I mean, the reputation of Japan was always that they're very xenophobic. That was like the old reputation.
Well, yes.
But then going there...
Isn't that true?
Well, not in my experience. In my experience, they were like insanely welcoming. Like almost too welcoming.
But to like, they're very welcoming, but then you're like, I want to move here. I'd like to rent an apartment. And they're like,
well, I mean, yeah, they don't want you to live there. I mean, that'd be crazy. But... I mean, one of those things where I would leave a hotel and they would like come outside and wave to us goodbye. And then we would look back like, a minute later and they're still waving.
Yeah, that's
they might still be waving. I have no idea.
They're still waving
right
right
now. I don't
know. I would
so
say that's
friendly.
more autistic than...
Okay, that is autistic. No, you're right. That is a strange...
That's strange, yeah.
But I mean, they were very, very friendly. So, I don't know.
This is a history question I have.
Yeah.
Didn't America, I'm not saying they created trains, but...
Oh, I thought you were going to say, didn't America drop a bomb?
It's
like, how basic do we have to get?
Didn't we, like, create trains, like modern trains?
Well, I mean, I know, like, the American, like, railroad system is, like, a big deal in terms of...
But, like, Europe's so efficient with the trains. Did they have trains before us? Like, they had horses before us, but then we mastered horses. Is it the reverse for trains? Like, we created trains, but then they mastered trains?
Call in. Good question. I'm not sure.
Pretty good question.
I would guess, because train technology, what era are we talking? We're talking like 1800s?
Well, this is also, maybe I'll take a step back before I answer that. Because I've never been on a European train. Are they, like, sophisticated?
That's what I've heard. I've heard European trains are good, but maybe I'm wrong.
I know the London subway's on time, but Tokyo, I know, is...
Tokyo's crazy. The regiment, oh my God. They send you like a little apology thing if it's 2 minutes late. You know what I mean? Like Google Maps is like, we're so sorry. It's like...
Oh, wait, Google Maps says that.
Or something. I don't know. But it's like, no. Maybe it's just like the announcement or something. But you're like, oh, that's okay.
That's what they say it over the loudspeaker?
Something like that. Or maybe it's like we are... It's a generic like sign thing where they're like, we apologize, but the train is like a minute late. Or
like, who's the we?
I guess
like
just
the government?
The emperor? Yeah.
They're like, oh, we are so sorry. Is that what happened? Oh.
I don't know. I think they're speaking Japanese. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe it was in my head that they apologized.
And now that this time, we'll switch to Patreon after I ask this. Have you ever been? I went to like a nice sushi spot in Denver.
Yeah.
And I walked in and they did the like I was walking to the table and then someone was like, then the whole
Like the
place was
excited thing?
Yeah. What do you do with that? Do you like wave?
Well, it seems
kind of bow?
It's a little racist if you mirror it. In terms of like,
I just pumped my fist.
you just did Trump after getting shot.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Fight.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do.
It's just I start crying.
Yeah. I was like, I can't bow because that's racist.
Yeah, that is an interesting question. How much? Yeah, because you want to be respectful and match the energy.
Right.
You don't want to be like, oh, hey. But at the same time, if you go like totally crazy, you look like you're mocking them or something.
But the guy who initiated it, white guy.
Oh, well, that's fucked up.
I know. What the hell's up with this?
Well, that's strange. Yeah.
I mean, Denver, there's only a few Japanese people, but still.
There wouldn't be a good amount. I mean, I know it's not like West Coast, but it feels like they would have a big Asian population, no?
You'd think.
Maybe. I guess it's not.
Everyone that was working there, besides the people physically making the sushi,
I guess you got to be really like.
Were white. And also,
West
I'll be
Coast.
honest, fairly attractive.
Denver?
Was shocked. Yeah, dude.
I buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did. Even the girls pouring the water, I was like, wow.
How'd you get this job?
Like, you can't be doing anything better than this.
Yeah, come on.
You got to get out of this town.
At least be a bus girl, something. Yeah.
Right, be a waitress or
Yeah,
something.
be a waitress,
You're doing the water?
The water.
It's got to be your first day.
Yeah, right. You're moving up.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to do so.
Eventually, you'll get the waitress.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll switch to the Patreon.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, here we go.